Hey guys, what's going on? It's BizzyDad here. You there? And I've been away for a little bit. Sorry about the delay. Sorry about not being around. I was gone for work for a few days, and then, a stomach virus, a stomach bug has torn through the house, taking no prisoners, and let's just leave it at that. But since I've been gone, we've had a few spoilers that have been leaked, including a new ruler that I want to talk about today. But before I get into that, just wanted to give you guys a quick look at the July promos that are going to be available. And we're going to the beach, back to the beach theme. And first is an encounter with Cthulhu. This is the 2-drop that says each player banishes a non Cthulhu resonator that they control. And this artwork looks really good with Yogg. He's got the keys. It doesn't matter if he's at the beach. And the Arla looking cute with the little hood and the flowers. Everyone looking really nice, but we all know how sinister these guys really are. This card looks good. I really would like a copy of this. And also for July will be the Mikage sisters. I didn't even know this was a card because it was part of the spoilers I did not look at and talk about. So I actually had to look this one up and figure out what it is. So it is the Resonators, the 2-drop, the Will of Despair, with some rest abilities. Destroying target resonator with 200 attack and dealing 200 damage to your opponent, gaining life. This is a pretty cool card. Anytime it's 500 defense, they are pretty vulnerable, although you can move counters to this card. Again, artwork looks really good, and this is a July promo too, so I'd like to get a copy of it. I'd rather have Encounter with Cthulhu better. But if I get this wouldn't be so bad either. So those are the promos. And now I want to go into the latest round of spoilers with a ruler that is dear to my heart. Anybody who knows me, or if you don't, if you're a new subscriber, you know that I am a big fan of the tree, of Yggdrasil, the world tree back in Alice Cluster. Was still one of my favorite decks to play, but now here is Evil Tree, here is Dirty Rotten Tree, Yggdrasil, the Malefic Verdant Tree, or Verdant Tree. Might have said that. I'm sure I said it wrong. But check out the artwork, just looks so cool, and I really want to see this card in full art because it looks like there is definitely more stuff going on under that text box, and I would really love to get a copy of this, really love to pull this tree. So again, just like the old tree, it does not flip over. It is just a one-sided ruler, ethereal tree with Energize of Green, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. Now, before I go any further, this really is the epitome of a unique and original ruler, so much to the point that they are creating new rules just for this ruler. This ruler is generating brand new rules that I'll get into in just a second. So, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you, but for each 100 damage prevented this way, remove a card from the top of your deck from the game. And when I first saw this, before I started recording this video, when I first saw it, I thought it meant just take a card from the top of your deck and just put it into your graveyard. And I immediately thought to myself, this is incredibly broken because I'll just run 4 Horn of Sacred Beasts before it rotates out, and I'll keep shuffling my graveyard back into my deck and just never die. But that's not the case. It's not into your graveyard, it's remove it from the game. So, I know what you're thinking. Okay, I'll just make a 10,000 card deck and I'll just never die. No, this is where the brand new rule comes into place because once this set comes out, there's going to be a rules update. I saw this on the website. There's going to be a rule update that says that the maximum deck size is going to be 60 cards. So we never had a deck max before. Now we have one. It's going to be a 60 card max, and really it's because of this ruler right here. So whenever you get dealt damage in increments of 100. For every 100 you get dealt, you're going to remove a card from the game. And you only get 60 cards, so you're definitely on the clock. I think that what is dangerous about this is because of that max and because so many resonators can hit you for big damage, there's a lot of ways to get damage to you. How quick are you going to go through those 60 cards with no real way to get them back? I know there's a couple of cards that will let you take something from your RFG area and I think put it into your hand. I don't know necessarily back into your deck. But again, even though that would just be one card, maybe 2 at most, and you're only talking about 60 cards, and when you got guys like Izanagi and Gwyber and Titania and all these people are swinging at you, you can get through those 60 cards really quick, especially with that Perseus Leap spell. Maybe that will get some use here, and just swing away, and those 60 cards are gone, and then you're going to be out of the game. So I'm really interested to see the dynamic here. And also, it says players cannot gain life. So this is another really weird twist with the ruler. you can't gain life, and every time you get hit, you're losing cards. So you are really on the clock here. I think it might put you in more of a pressure position than your opponent. Like, yeah, sure, they're not getting damage to you, but they're just milling you out. They're just getting rid of all your cards. And then all of a sudden, you're out of cards, you can't gain life, and it's going to be over. So it's really going to be dependent on the support and the rest of the set. There is one more ability here for green, dark, and rest. It's an activate. Put a card named Machina, King of Accursed Machines, Rezard, King of the Damned, Melges, King of Black Flame, or Arla, Demonic Flying Ace from your removed area into your field. So here's the tree's support resonators, and they get to come in out of the RFG area right into the field. And that is all we got going on with the tree. So it's definitely a lot. I love unique. I love an original. So this has definitely caught my attention, and I want to see the rest of the support. So here's Arla, Demonic Flying Ace. This is a 3-drop 7 Kings or Angel Resonator. So something for Celestial and something for the Vingolf 3 Arla too that could protect with Barrier, because we have a 3-drop, 1 light, 2 of other, 700, 800 with Flying, and also Will of Despair. And I think all these resonators are Will of Despair, so it doesn't necessarily tie these resonators to the tree. You can also play them with the Dark Book, the Book of Dark or Book of Death, whatever it is from this set too. That lets you play Will of Despair cards for any attribute. So 7/8 with Flying, and here's a really cool ability: pay 200 life, and this card deals 200 damage to target attacking or blocking resonator. So a throwback to the Artemis Bow Regalia. But it's not just a one shot. As long as you have the life to pay, you could keep paying the increments of 200 life and blasting a attacking or blocking resonator for 200. Not J resonator. Keep that in mind. It's not going to hit an attacking or blocking J ruler, but you can take somebody out with the 200. And this is what I meant before. It's scary if you tie this in with the tree because you can't gain life. And taking damage and paying life are different. So this, you're not going to be removing cards. You're going to lose health here by using Arla's ability. So again, it's something to think about. If you can't gain life, and these abilities, all these resonators have abilities that cause you to pay life. So it's going to be a really delicate juggling act, balancing act here. So again, let's go to Melges, King of Black Flame. I like this artwork too. So there's another 3-drop, 1 red, 2 of other to play, 700 attack and defense, Will of Despair, and Swiftness. So Melges is always about the swiftness, the swift life. To pay 300 life, here's his activate, and the card will gain plus 100 attack and first strike until end of turn. And this is risky. 300 life to just gain plus 100 attack is... I would... Maybe a late game scenario where you could potentially put your opponent away because they don't block, but you're paying 900 life just to get this Melges up to 1,000 attack. So maybe it can put the game away. I could see that, but you would also have to have the 900 life in order to pull it off. So it's definitely possible. I will never write cards off in the spoilers right away, just as really not that great, but it's definitely there, but a steep cost for the life. Rezard, King of the Damned, 2 dark 7 Kings ruler, 500 attack and defense with Will of Despair. Pay 200 life and remove target card in a graveyard from the game. And I think this is a really useful ability. It just says target card. So if you're playing the Fox, you just pay 200 life and just remove the Killing Stone from the game. That's pretty good. You go up against anybody who's playing that Blazer Resonator or the Shade Resonator, anybody that can come back out of the graveyard. Nope, just pay 200 life and just pop them out of the game. So this ability will have some good use. Also, the card will gain +1/+1 for each resonator in your removed area. So kind of gets Rezard a little bit closer to that tree, since the whole deck, as you take damage, is going to be in the removed area. This would make Rezard pretty big. If you have a 60-card deck, heavy Resonator, and you get Rezard out there, and all of a sudden he might become 10-10, 11-11. So he has the potential to be really strong, and I like that built-in ability just to take key cards and remove it from the game. And you can remove your own cards too. You can remove a Resonator out of your graveyard to make Rezard stronger. Here's Machina, King of Accursed Machines, and is he dabbing? I just noticed this. I think he's dabbing in this picture. So it's a 7/8, 3-drop, so it's 3 void, of course. He's Machina. And Here's another great ability to pay 300 life and produce any color. Play this ability only once per turn. So it could be your opponent's turn too. You're sitting on a wall of wind, or you just need one more for a cancel spell, or seal, or anything like that, or a kill spell. Just pay the 300 life, produce the color, and then do it. So I think that's pretty useful. And because he's void, he can go anywhere. Cards named Maria Bella the True Shot you control cannot be destroyed, which means we're going to get a card called Maria Bella the True Shot. We just haven't seen it yet, although we did get a sneak peek on a playmat, I believe. So I think this card can be useful. Leaf of the Malefic Tree is an addition, 1 green to play. Bestow it for green and rest, and the bestowed Resonator gains the ability to pay 200 life and gain +1/+1 until end of turn. So maybe a little bit more value here than the Melges Resonator, because Melges will have you pay 300 life just to gain +100 attack. Here's paying 200 life to gain 100 attack and 100 defense. So again, that ability is there to pump up that Resonator to potentially end the game, or pump him up defensively so he can block an attack. So I think that has merit there. But again, you're paying life, so always got to be wary of the game state and what your situation is. Finally, for today, it's Soul Debt. This is a 2-drop quick cast, 1 green, 1 other. We'll do this whenever. Put target Resonator that was put into a field this turn on the bottom of its owner's deck, and I think that's really cool. I like this card. Your opponent sets up the big play to get the Gwyber out, or even the Titania. That would probably hurt a lot. Resting the 3 Resonators to get Titania on the field, and then you just play Soul Debt, and Titania goes right to the bottom, and those Resonators are rested, and now you can get damage through on your turn. So I think this is a pretty cool card. Even a card like Izanagi or anybody big, although keep in mind the Resonator does have to enter the field for you to get this card off. So any enter effects are going to happen, and then you can play Soul Debt to put that Resonator at the bottom. But I still think this is a pretty good card, and I would like to find a way to use this one as well. And that is it for today's spoiler. Sorry for going on and rambling a little bit, but we did have a lot to talk about with the tree and the promos and these new Resonators. I want to know what you think. Is this tree better or worse than the original tree? I love the old tree, and so I'm drawn to this tree because of just how unique it is, and I would like to see the rest of the support cards to see if this is going to be a playable ruler or if it's just going to be more fun, janky ruler. So leave me a comment below. I love when we discuss these things. Like, share, subscribe. Always more videos coming. I'm back now so I can record. So I got things in the works coming up for the rest of the month. But thanks for a few minutes, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.